One of the world's best pools of AI talent is here in Bangalore.
And today we have with us the CEO of a major tech corporation which specializes in intelligent document processing, and this company has just opened their first ever AI R&D center in Bangalore. I'd like to welcome today Mr. Ulf Persson, who is the CEO of ABBYY, a company that is using his AI technologies to transform business workflows. All right, hello and welcome, Mr. Persson. So it's so great to have you on our show where we are going to discuss more about the company that is called ABBYY. So it's a very interesting name, and we were discussing this a few days ago. What is ABBYY? What does it stand for? And just to give introduction to our viewers, please describe ABBYY.
Thanks for having me, first of all, Sami. I'm very pleased to be here, and please feel free to call me Ulf. I know that's not the easiest name to pronounce, but that's my first name. So, very excited to be here. It's the first time I am in India, and obviously first time in Bengaluru. So we're opening up our big office here, which is a landmark event for us, a milestone for ABBYY in its 35-year-old history. ABBYY has been around for a long time then, obviously, and we are a leader in something called intelligent process automation. So effectively what we do, we use AI and other technologies to understand the context and the content of various business documents, and we extract the information and make that available in downstream processes. So when you think of any business process that you want to automate, chances are that there is one or two or several different documents, whether they are on paper or they are in digital format, in that process that contains vital information for the process to be run and to be automated. So that's where we come in.
Right, wonderful. So there was a very interesting theory about the name itself that we had discussed in the last call we had. So let our viewers in on that theory, and maybe perhaps an interesting story that you might have with the name itself, which is ABBYY. I'm sure you said previously that it's not an abbreviation, but definitely there's a story behind that.
It's not an abbreviation. It might look like one. The founder of the company, a gentleman called David Young, he and his partners at the time came up with that name. It's not entirely clear to me what it actually means. I've heard different theories, but the theory that appeals to me most is that it's an obscure language, existing or non-existing, and the word ABBYY means the seer, right. Which fits into our ability to see into documents, understand what documents contain, and then take that information further. It also has this really good advantage in that the way it's spelled means that we come very high up on most lists that are listed in alphabetical order.
So, to think of it, many people may not realize that the ABBYY's technology is being used in the daily lives, in different aspects of life, if I may put it. Can you share some examples, like some everyday examples where ABBYY's technology is actually in use in a way that we can actually, or the masses can actually relate to it?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different use cases, and maybe we'll talk more about the expanding number of use cases with the help of AI, generative AI in particular. But if you look at any company of any major size have a procure to pay or an invoice management solution where an invoice comes in, the invoice contains a number of data points. That data has to be matched to a purchase order, and then it gets set up in the ERP system, and it goes out for payment. Now, all of that can be automated, and what reading and understanding what sits in that information in the invoice is something that I think most companies and most people can relate to. But there's also other more user or use cases that are more common to consumers. So, for example, if you go to a bank and you want to apply for a loan or you want to open a bank account, the bank will ask you to provide a lot of different documents. It could be a utility bill, it could be your passport, it could be your ID card, it could be proof of address, whatever it is, proof of income. And instead of printing those documents or getting them from your employer and take them to your bank, you can scan them with your phone, and then automatically the information will get extracted and goes into the loan application process or into the bank onboarding process.
Wonderful. I think a lot of people, with the bank example especially, a lot of people can relate to it on how ABBYY's technology is being deployed in real world scenarios.
Yes, no, it's more prevalent than most people think. I mean,
Right.
if you come to an airport today, you can go to automatic scanning of passports, and that's typically not our technology, but it could be.
Perfect. That's great. So let's come to Bangalore. So this is your first AI R&D center in Bangalore. So my question is, why now and why India?
These are good questions. For us, ABBYY is a leader in what we do. And by leader, I mean that we are growing, we're a profitable company, we ranked number one or thereabouts from all the analyst firms. But for us, it's very important to innovate. And we have to be at the forefront of innovation. And we know that with the advent of generative AI, things are changing very rapidly. So it means that effectively what we can do with our solutions and our products is expanding, both in terms of the number of use cases and the quality we can deliver for each use case. But in order to do that, we have to be very innovative, and we have to onboard the technologies that are basically developing so fast right now that you have to be on your toes all the time. So in that context, we felt that we wanted to have access to what may be, one of the world's best pools of AI talent. It's here in Bangalore or Bengaluru. And we also wanted to have access to that ecosystem of developers, not only here, but throughout India, that are working with, whether it's Indian companies or global software, global system integrators or consultancy firms or enterprise or banks. So to tap into that ecosystem was also incredibly important. And then thirdly, India itself is a large market. We are selling into India. It's not one of our largest markets, but we would like over time to develop that and for it to become one of the top markets as well.
With this expansion into India and Bengaluru specifically, what kind of talent you're looking for, and if you can just elaborate on that.
Well, it's really a broad spectrum of talent. It is about AI, of course. It's different levels of engineers. It's SREs. It is support. It's information security. Everything that goes into the vision and the planning and the roadmap and the building of products, and then servicing those products, deploying them and then servicing those products to our customers. So we expect that well over half, and maybe up to 60-70% of all our R&D staff, when we are ready and have built out this office completely, will be based here in Bengaluru. So it's really not one type of capability and one type of talent. It's a broad approach.
Right, wonderful. As you might agree, India is not like any other market that you've seen across the globe, especially with all the languages that India has. It's so with each state, there's a different dialect, different language, so it gets a lot challenging. So even as a company that ABBYY is, do you find it challenging to cater to a market as multilingual as India?
So if you look at India as a user of our products, I think we have well over 200 different languages that we can deploy in, and for us, as I said, India is an important market for us, but it hasn't been a primary market for the end user. A lot of partners, a lot of enterprises who are multinational who are present here, but if you look at specifically Indian companies for the Indian market, we hope that's actually, as I said, one of the reasons we're here. So we want to grow that. And that also means that we need to grow our ability to work with the different languages in India as well. So that's something that we look forward to, and something we're definitely looking forward to bring onto our capability.
Wonderful. And when we talk AI, which has been for the last few years, there's a lot of buzz around AI, but parallelly there are concerns about privacy. So I'm sure you've been in the space for a very long time, so you understand the ins and outs of AI. So how do you address the privacy concerns that one might have?
So for us, this is of course paramount, and we use something that we call purposeful AI, or AI with purpose. And what does that mean? It means that we're using AI to enhance the result or broaden the use case, as I said before. But it needs to make sense for the end user, the customer. So it makes sense from an economic perspective, financial perspective, and from a security and compliance perspective. So for us, this is of paramount importance that we can provide a solution to our customers that is vetted, that is auditable, that produces consistent results, and that we take responsibility for the models that are being used, whether they are our models directly or they are models that the customers has helped developing as well.
Mm-hmm. And a follow-up to this question is, where are your data centers based currently?
Oh, that's a good question. We have data centers in the US, in Europe, in Australia, so for different markets.
And do you have any plans to work with the Indian government or startups in India to further boost your presence in India?
But as I said, what we're trying to do, we're already doing it. In fact, we're tapping into that ecosystem of developers. So for us, the developer experience is very important. You think of part of our customers are developers themselves. So they use our technology to build into their solutions. But even if it goes to a bank or an enterprise or government organization, that organization will have their own center of excellence. They will have their own AI team or whatever. And we need to work with them and plug into that, and they can be able to use our products, use our technology with ease, and try and test and build their own solutions on top of that. So for us, that's very important. Do we have a specific startup program for India right now? No, we don't, but it's something that we will definitely look into.
Wonderful. So, yeah, I think that brings me to the last question here. With AI evolving so rapidly, especially in the last year or so that we have seen, where does ABBYY or your vision for the next 5 years from the company's point of view?
So look, we want to be the absolute market leader in document-centric, AI-powered document-centric intelligent process automation. It's one of the main reasons we're here. We want to take a big step forward, and we are investing heavily in AI. We're investing heavily around our whole product portfolio. So for us, that's key. We want to be seen as a super secure, compliant, trustworthy partner for our customers, whether those are government partners or enterprise or bank financial services. And we also want to be super customer-centric, while at the same time creating a wonderful workplace for our employees.
Well, that's wonderful to know, Ulf. And I think that gives a lot of clarity into what ABBYY does as a company, and why choosing India or Bangalore at this juncture for you as a company matters. And we definitely wish you all the best. And
thank you very much.
Coming future.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking out the time.
Thanks for having me.
Great. And to our viewers, we were in conversation with Mr. Ulf Persson, who is the CEO of ABBYY, a company that specializes in AI-driven document processing and intelligent automation that streamlines business workflows. And as we wrap up this segment of BizTalk, I'd like to thank you for watching, and don't forget to hit that like button, share and subscribe for more such exclusive insights on tech and businesses. I'll see you in the next one.